Okay.
I know you're focused on the here and now, winning matches, but what thoughts do you have about how football, as it's played, will evolve over the next sort of 5 to 10 years, and what changes we might see tactically and stuff? Please have some thoughts.
Yeah. I think it's going to be very constrained and very related to new regulations and new rules, probably. Because with the amount of games that we are going to have to play, I think the type of squad that you're going to have is going to be vital. I don't know those restrictions that they're going to have, and whether we have to change certain rules in the game, because that's going to have a big impact on there. After that, I have a few ideas, but to be fair, it's very difficult to predict, in my opinion.
What kind of thing?
I have a few things, but I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be possible in a few years because of the constraints that we're going to have.
One thing people say is that maybe 4-4-2 and target man and number 9s might come back in a cycle. I wonder, do you think football is cyclical?
Very much, I think so. When it was done 70, 80, 90 years ago, somebody does it now, is a genius, and we have invented something. You just have to look back, and as you said, the wheel keeps spinning, and a lot of things are repeated.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Jordan, son?
Hi, Mikel. Just on that, you say with the constraint of the game and rules might change. Do you think games themselves might have to be shorter to avoid injuries with the 3 games in a week?
That's an option. That's an option.
Would you be for that?
Depends. I mean, we have changed the Champions League format to play more games, to play in home and away. You know, I mean, it's a very real possibility, I think.
And just on the academy, it seems like it's now very well equipped to bring those players through. People like Miles and Ethan, they seem like they're Premier League ready, just to be thrown in, and Miles last night on Wednesday in the Champions League. Could you just talk about how, when you first arrived and what you saw in the academy and how tough it was to, because you had to prioritise the first team, but working with the academy and getting it to the stage it is now?
Well, I think the academy historically at the club has been very, very successful and strong, but there are moments as well, you know, sometimes you get a lot of players coming through in the same position. As I said, they need time in the squad, they need a role in the squad. And then it's when you throw a player. For me, that's the key. A player can be ready, but maybe the context within that team, that dressing room, that moment is not the right way to throw an academy player. And I think now is the work has been done for a few years. It's been exceptional what everybody's done at the academy. And now I think they have the right environment, you know, and they are prepared. And the jump is so big, you know, for what Ethan and Miles, for example, they've been playing to what you ask them to play in the Champions League. It's a huge step. But they're showing that they are capable of doing it, so it's great.
I was going to say, is that dressing room that you have now, because it's obviously very different to the one you walked into, that dressing room is now perfect for a young player to walk into?
Unbelievable. It was not for me to say, probably it's for them to say. I think they have already expressed that the way they make them feel, the way they look after them, the way they can look at certain people and say, wow, these are the standards and this is what I want to become, you know, and I think that's a great example in there.
Mikel, we talked about Saka and Martinelli and all the attacking players, the young players. Raheem Sterling, I know you mentioned him before. Is this an opportunity now with the amount of games coming up? He's got a really good record actually against Everton. I think he's got 1 and 2, you said, over his career. To really kickstart his season now?
For sure, and it's been moments as well, and that's been tough and very difficult for me as well to accept that I haven't given more, you know, but that's the context that we've been in, you know, when we hasn't started the games, 90% of the subs that I made are related to saving minutes or because of injuries or avoiding injuries, not tactical reasons, you know. And I would like to play much more because I think it can impact the team in a very good way.
How have you found him so far? Is he on and off the pitch? Good in the dressing room, desperate to play, honestly?
Very good and absolutely desperate to play. I know Rush for many years as well. He had this role, this very important role and impacting every game, and suddenly you are in this position. It's been now for a while, not only here, but when he was at Chelsea as well. So that's always very difficult, and I feel a lot of sympathy for players when they are in this moment, and hopefully we can change it.
Okay, last couple. Firstly, John.
We can
earlier on you mentioned winning trophies quite a lot. You mentioned we need to prove world class, you need to win something. You've obviously got the side very competitive, home and away. Is that the message to the players that need some silverware, even if it's a cup, a league cup? Is that what you've been saying?
That's the aim, that's the dream, and that's what we work for every single day. Actually getting it is going to be, I think, for very small margins and details like we've been in the last 2-3 years, but that we know that the next step is there, and we are working towards that for sure.
And it's about time. I mean, now, it needs to be now rather than...
It needs to be, it has to be, we want it to be, and we're going to do our very best to make it happen. That's the only thing we can do. We cannot promise anything, but that we're going to promise is our very best and put everything that we have to make it happen.
Okay, and finally with Mel in Spanish, I believe.
Hola, Mikel.
Hola.
Quiero hablar de los jugadores que están subiendo por la academia. ¿Qué es de ellos, de su personalidad, su habilidad, lo que ellos están trayendo, que es impresionante, no solo para ti, pero para los jugadores del equipo también?
Al final es un todo, un jugador tiene que ser total, la parte emocional, la parte física, la parte que está relacionada con el juego, y tenemos suerte de que tenemos dos talentos que reúnen muchas de esas cualidades y que yo creo en ellos, pero que lo más importante es que los que juegan creen en ellos también, y cuando se lo pones al lado se sienten cómodos, se sienten con confianza, y yo creo que tenemos dos talentos que nos van a dar mucho.
Muchas gracias.
A ti.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.